Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Around the Sound Sports. My name is Ben Ray, your local sports reporter here in Federal Way, Kent, Auburn, and Renton. Around the Sound Sports is a podcast created by me, edited by me, just a way to give local athletes their shine in another type of form of media. We got clips on Instagram. We post this full-length video on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at Around the Sound Sports Pod. We post clips there every week from this episode. So be sure to follow us on there and like and comment on those videos. Share them to your friends. Share them to your family. Be sure to subscribe on our websites as well at www.federalwaymere.com. Auburn-reporter.com, KentReporter.com, and RentonReporter.com. This week has a lot of baseball and a little bit of fast pitch as well. We'll start with the fast pitch, where Auburn Riverside won 2-1 over Kentridge in a high-level pitching matchup, in a pitching duel out at Auburn Riverside, where the Ravens end up winning the game 2-1. Anytime you face Josie Thompson of Kentridge, it's a tough affair for hitters up and down the lineup. Auburn Riverside does just enough to scratch 2 runs across against Thompson. And here's head coach Bryce Strand talking about his offense's approach and execution against Thompson.
I like 2-1 football. I like 13-10 football. I like these games because to me, this is the game where the team that executes all the little things wins, right? We love to hit balls over the fence and all those kind of things, but it's the bunts, it's the stolen bases, it's putting the ball in play, it's having good at-bats, even if you get out sometimes, right, for both teams.
Kentridge scored first in this contest. They took a 1-0 lead, but Auburn Riverside came back and put up a run in the third and the fourth inning to win the game, and that's all Kylie Curtis needed in the circle. Curtis went the distance for Kentridge, and here's Strand talking about Curtis against Kentridge.
Kylie is so talented with her pitches, right? We have a lot of kids that throw really, really hard in the city. Kylie throws, she's about an average velocity kid, but she moves the ball really well, locates really well, and that's the secret, right? She gets a lot of strikeouts kind of in an unconventional way of just moving the ball, changing up spots, all those kind of things. And so, she's such a smart, crafty pitcher.
Sloan Cross ends up getting the game-winning RBI for Auburn Riverside in that fourth inning. She doubled to center field. And here is Strand talking about Sloan's ability at the top of the order. She's their leadoff hitter. She's their table setter and comes through to get the game-winning RBI for the Ravens.
Really good bat tonight. Even when she got out, she did a good job putting the ball in play. And, she's been coming on. She started a little slow for her standards. But stuck with it, saying this is, I thought, her best hitting game against super quality pitchers.
Kentridge went on to defeat Mount Rainier later in the week, 13-3, to get back on the winning side of things. They take on Tahoma on April 14th, with undoubtedly Thompson getting back in the circle for the Chargers. Auburn Riverside headed to Pennsylvania and the West Virginia area for their spring break trip as they took on schools from out east, and will get back to their league schedule this week. On Tuesday, we'll head to the baseball diamond, and we'll stay there the rest of the week. And on Tuesday, Auburn Riverside sweeps Auburn once again, this time 3-0 in Game 2 of their series. And now Auburn Riverside has beaten Auburn and has swept them in their last 3 series. And here's head coach Brad Comstock after the 3-0 win over Auburn.
Yeah, pitching I knew was going to be a strong point for us this year, just with the 2 senior arms. And then, to be honest, these young guys, including Parker tonight, who closed it, a lot of arm talent.
Auburn Riverside scored 1 run in the 4th on a Noah Soto ground out to get the scoring going. And if they didn't score again, that was all they would have needed, as Cameron Bain was excellent on the bump, followed by Parker Workman. Bain went 4 1/3. He gave up 3 hits, no runs, struck out 3, and at the plate, he was the only Raven to have a multi-hit game. And here's Bain talking about how if he has an off day on the bump, he can pick himself up at the plate, and vice versa, kind of being that two-way factor that head coach Brad Comstock is looking for.
I would say that
obviously when I'm able to get on base as a pitcher, obviously it helps me out.
Yeah.
But it's definitely it'll kind of relax you. If you have a rough inning and then you get a knock your next at bat, it really just makes you flush the toilet, you know what I mean? Turn the next page.
Yeah.
And if you do have a rough inning, like, you got to go swing it for your guys. So.
Like I said, Parker Workman got it done in relief. He went 2 2/3, gave up 1 hit, struck out 4, and just as a sophomore, one of many sophomores on Comstock's squad, rose to the occasion and pitched an excellent game out of the bullpen. And here's Comstock on Parker Workman.
Trying to find some innings for him the last couple of weeks. We found, I think, 1 or 2 innings for him against Tahoma. Just trying to put him in some spots so that he feels comfortable. Just a sophomore like all the rest of them I got. So when I can find him some innings, I like to do that.
And the biggest at-bat in that top of the 7th was Porter Peruz, who had a 7-pitch at-bat and doubled down the right field line to score the second run of the game, and then an extra one was added for good measure in the top of the 7th. And here's Comstock talking about his team's ability to add an insurance run and especially come through in clutch moments.
Man, I thought Porter Purse put together a heck of an at-bat right there to get us the first insurance run, and then we squeaked another one.
Auburn
across.
Riverside takes on Kennedy Catholic in their next series starting on April 14th, while Auburn will look to bounce back and get back on the winning side of things against Mount Rainier, which that series also begins on April 14th. On Wednesday, we'll head out to Hogan Field, where Kentridge took on Kennedy Catholic in their second game of the series, and Kentridge just can't quite seem to keep the good vibes rolling as they would fall 7-0 to be swept aside by the Lancers. In Game 1 of this series, Kentridge was in charge 4-0 heading to the bottom of the 7th, and their 7th inning woes continued as Kennedy put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th to walk off Kentridge in Game 1. But in Game 2, it was a rough game from the start as Kennedy pushed 5 runs across in the top of the first inning against starting pitcher Coney Nazarino. Nazarino was able to weather the damage and got in and pitched through the 5th inning, going 5 innings after that 29-pitch first inning. And here's head coach Sheldon Stober talking about Nazarino's ability to continue to pitch well despite a tough start.
It shows you that he has the abilities to do that. When he does little quick pitch innings, it makes things obviously a lot easier. You can go deeper into games. But yeah, to be able to bounce back and be able to have those quicker innings, it just shows he's got some maturity finally, especially have so much experience. So it's good to see.
It's been a tough go of things for Kentridge. They've been walked off 3 times this year. They've had 1-run games that haven't gone their way, and they just continue to fight. And Stober doesn't lack any confidence with his group. And here he is after the game talking about just this team's overall resilience and just how they got to put together a 7-inning performance to win in a tough league.
We just had to take it one game at a time, keep building off it. We've had some very, very good games, and I think there's been a lot of positives for these last couple weeks that we've seen. We've had trouble playing a full 7 innings. We played 5-6 good innings, and then there's one inning that kind of just falls apart, similar to tonight. So we got to get those guys in full 7.
In terms of Kennedy, Braden Sieber throws a complete game on just 82 pitches, I believe it was. Excellent, throwing a lot of strikes, really put Kentridge hitters off balance. He was throwing fastballs for strikes. He was working off the plate with this breaking ball. He was really solid for all 7 innings. I mean, 82 pitches. How can you do better than that? Here's Stober talking about Sieber's ability to dominate on the bump.
Impressed me. He was very good on the mound tonight. He ended up throwing like 82 pitches, but he hit the ball well. He threw strikes. He got ahead. And he was just locating really well. He's very, very good. So, yeah, we just got to stay aggressive.
Kentridge, it doesn't get any easier for the Chargers as their next series is against Tahoma on April 14th as that series gets underway, and the Chargers just looking for a bit of luck to go their way as the season continues. On Thursday, we'll head out to Liberty. We'll stay in the Highlands, but we'll get out to Liberty as the Patriots took on Mercer Island in a game that really felt like 2 different games. It was 3 hours. The final score was Mercer Island 11, Liberty 9. Through the first 4 innings, it seemed like Liberty was going to cruise to a 2-0, a low-scoring game. Tate Tuaninga was excellent through the first 4 innings, and Liberty got some clutch hitting from Caleb Chin, who had a double and an RBI single as Liberty was up 2-0. But then the fifth inning happened, and Mercer Island scored 8 runs in the fifth inning, and 14 Mercer Island hitters went to the plate. Just a tough inning. Tuaninga recorded the first 2 outs relatively quick, but wasn't able to get out of the inning. And here's head coach Zach Beatty talking about just how tough this game was to handle for Liberty.
Sucks to lose to a rival, especially when you're up and then you're down and then you fight all the way back and just come a little bit short. And, it is what it is. It's baseball. It's a tough game, but I'm proud of the fight of the guys. Like, we totally could have laid down. We got punched pretty hard, and we punched back almost as hard, but it just, a little bit too little, too late at the end of the day.
That fifth inning will stick out in the minds of Liberty players, but they showed some resiliency. They put up 2 runs in the bottom half of the fifth and 4 runs in the sixth to get back in the game. It was 11-8 going into the bottom of the seventh. Liberty put 1 run across, and had the tying run on base, but just could not get the job done in the bottom of the seventh and fell 11-9. Later in the week, Liberty took on Inglemoor and lost 1-0 in that game, as Liberty's kind of starting to get into a skid, but they take on Sammamish on April 17th for their next game, so they have a little bit of a break as they prepare to go down the back half of their season. And now we'll head to Friday, where Decatur took on Peninsula in what was supposed to be a really high-level game, a game that could feature 2 potential state tournament teams, but Decatur rode a 6-run third inning as they dominated Peninsula 9-2 on the road in an impressive game for Chris Fox's Decatur Gators. That 6-run inning was the difference for Decatur. They were really able to put it into cruise control after that inning. And here's head coach Chris Fox talking about the cohesiveness that he's seen from this group.
Advanced runners to second and third. We scored on a base hit. We were good with 2 strikes. We were just good in every facet of the game today. And I'll tell you what it is. It's complete buy-in from these guys. That's what this is right now. This is more of a team than I've ever had at Decatur since I've been here. They love each other. They fight for each other. And there's not a thing wrong with this team right now, man. I'm just telling you.
Ethan Flavel took the bump for Decatur for just his second time this season, and he was excellent. He went 5 innings, allowed no runs. His ERA for the year is still 0. It was just good to see him get on the bump, and here's Fox and Flavel talking about just getting back in the swing of things and really expanding this pitching rotation for Decatur.
It's everything that I wanted to see from Ethan. We had a pitch count of around 80. I think he was at 76. The only person that can beat Ethan is Ethan. Nobody. If he's on, he's the best pitcher in the state. He's got an off-speed pitch that's brutal. He's got a fastball that's probably upper 80s. I don't know what he was at today.
89.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah. And with his breaking ball and his curveball, when he's on, he is one of the funnest pitchers I've ever coached to watch.
Last year was a mental struggle for me, not being able to contribute for my guys, and just that whole thing was just terrible. But coming back out here and showing what I can actually do is just great.
Decatur bats dominated as well. Juan Leal he's 7 for his last 9. He picked up a couple of hits. Nate Gilmore picked up a couple of hits. CJ Gatterson set the table. Flavel had 2 hits. It's a really deep lineup, and here's Flavel talking about what this Decatur team can really get up to if everybody's swinging it as well as they are right now.
Hey, just seeing the whole team just hitting and have that fun, it's just amazing to see and just be a part of.
I think Juan is 11 for 12 right now as a sophomore, and just unbelievable right now what he's doing at the plate, and he works hard. And once again, he buys in. Just our execution and our at-bats right now, we're seeing the ball. It's really, really good. And once again, it's buy-in to what we're teaching. That's the big thing with these guys.
Peninsula put up 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th, but at that point the game was really out of hand. Decatur had shown they were the much better side. They improved to 8-0, and there's a real chance Decatur can finish this year undefeated. Enumclaw, they still have yet to play. But in terms of just the quality of team that Decatur is, there's a real potential for this team to go undefeated and really be a force heading into the postseason. Decatur plays Todd Beamer in their next series as the Titans are gonna go up against a buzzsaw in Decatur. That'll be it for this episode of Around the Sound Sports. Thank you to everyone for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like this video, follow us on Instagram at Around the Sound Pod. We will post clips of this episode on our Instagram, and feel free to subscribe to our local paper as well. We as local journalists really appreciate that sort of support that the community gives us in terms of subscribers. So if you can do that, I believe it's $23 for a year's subscription, where you get full access to our digital library and a printed copy to your house. And with that being said, I will see you around the sound.